Hello. This is a very early video, test video basically, about engraving. I intend to kind of show what I've done in terms of my setup, what I use, what I've made, things I've done to make my life easier for engraving. So I'm just going to show a very brief bit of work, well not bit of work, bit of scroll work I'm going to draw out. I'll draw a simple scroll. Sorry if it's shaky video, I've got it on my phone, it's just kind of dingling about on a little mount thing, but I'll get to that when I kind of do. Proper video. So I'm just drawing out on pencil there on a bit of mild steel that I've got in the garage. You can kind of see that. It looks a bit odd on the old camera, but that is a very simple basic scroll, just in the middle of the steel. Don't worry too much about the lines. Get a rough swirl going on, and you can do all sorts of swirls. You can do tight ones that are equal, parallel all the way around, like this. It kind of swirls into the middle and comes out and widens at the end here. So yeah, I've done it in pencil. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I've got to use a bit of a. I just use one of these little scribe thing. This one's quite a thick one. I don't have another one that's a bit finer, but I've lost it, misplaced somewhere. But yeah, you can use that to give you a better idea, better line to follow. I'd probably recommend doing it in most occasions, because it means you're not, it means you're not going to be following any other line. You're going to be following your scribe. You're not going to be going off on your own course. But it doesn't matter too much, because if you're using a swivelly old base like I've got here, it might be a better view like that. Then it kind of acts as a bit of a I don't know what the word is, like crux or something, to spin on. So it gives you a bit of a central point of rotation to work with. I'll just do this quick. So what I'm trying to do is keep my left hand absolutely still. Basically, I need to centralise my thing, and all I'm really doing is applying pressure on the pedal. I'm using my right hand to turn, keeping my left hand still. You can kind of see by eye where you're going. You might have to make a slight adjustment, because your eyes are usually better than your eye is usually better than your line. Sorry, I'll turn this off. Your eye is usually better than your line. So if you think you're going off course in any way, it's usually because you're following your line too much. You know what I mean? You want to try and, if you think you're going too far, or you think your curve's not coming in, going out too much, you're squaring off, try and use your eye to gauge when you should be coming in and tightening up your circle, because you can kind of follow it as you're engraving. You can kind of see how round you are and how tight your scroll's coming in. So you just kind of use your eye to bring it in perfectly. There's quite a bit of practice in that, so you just got to keep practicing. You're going round and round and making sure that you're coming in to tight each time. That's not a too bad scroll actually. It's got quite a nice width to it, and it is quite an even growth from the outside, from the inside outwards. Everything about engraving is very much about your visual look of things, because for some reason, for whatever reason, whenever you do something that's not quite parallel or some things aren't quite right, you see it. Sorry about my thumb, it's pretty gross, but I whacked it with an hammer. So that's a very simple scroll there. I'll just now I'll do it's very much an English style kind of internal scroll. It's not very flowery or an ornamental kind of style. It's very much just wide opening, starting narrow and coming into a more wider cut towards the inside of the scroll. It's quite a nice effect, and if you get good spacing and your lines are nice and parallel, they look quite nice. I'll shut up and I'll do this. So it's just getting gradually wider as I'm coming towards the centre, and then picking it off towards the end like that. I don't know if you can see that. Just coming in towards the centre there. And yeah, I'm going to come in here. You don't have to always do this, it's practice, but coming quite tight towards the bottom here. Getting gradually wider. Might took a bit there, but thicken her off towards the end. And that's your first leaf. Now you repeat that process. Gradually getting wider. Rounding it off towards the top. Taking it out like that. A few more. Keep your left hand or your right hand, whatever. Right, dead still. And using your right hand to rotate your base. Come slightly further up on this one. Sorry about me moving the old thing. My bloody setup. Handing it off towards the top like that. Same again, scroll's getting tighter, flick it off. And the end one there, see, I just brought it in to the, I can't remember what they bloody call it, but it's the inside end basically of your scroll, and that just tucks in like that. And you get quite a nice effect, almost a 3D effect on the inside. Can you see that on the camera? I don't know if you tilt it or something. Don't know. Better like that. Yeah. So that's your internal leaves done for this style. I'll show you now what I usually do on these. It's very simple, basically a very simple shade, but nothing too complicated. And you want to try and keep as parallel as you can to your inside or your outside line here when you do this. And you'll slowly taper it in. So you start here, slowly working your way down the leaf, and slightly wider, and bringing it off towards the end there. Same on this one, starting light, and tapering it off towards the end. And like that, just keep it parallel, so you want to keep that rotation. Bringing it off towards the end like that. So start on the curve. Bring it off towards the end like that. Here again. Start on the inside curve. Slow and steady. Bringing it in. Taking it off towards the bottom. Slow and steady. I'm going off here a bit on my microscope, but taping it off towards the bottom. And then our final one. Same thing. Nice and parallel. Taping off towards the bottom. What's that looking like on the old camera there? Can't really see, can you really? I could have done that with I've got like a 90 to 90 degree engraver. You could do these fine details, but I'm just using I don't know if you can see this. My poor polishing there. It's just a 120 degree engraver with just a simple 45 degree face with a beveled belly bottom, and they're quite large heels, pardon me, on these. I do like, it's very much a learning process, and I'm very kind of still, well, I say newish to engraving, but I'm still trying to sort out proper templates for my heels and heights and all this kind of fiddly stuff. But I'll go over what I've done in another video, and I'll show you exactly how I do it, because I spent a very long time trying to figure out and researching how to do these bloody things the easiest way and the most efficient way as possible, without trying to spend all your days bloody making tools and faffing. It can be quite fun, and it's very much part of the entire process. But I'll go all over that another time. So, sorry, this metal's a bit scrubby and a bit guff, but it's kind of what I'm practicing on and doing my work on. So you can now, we can put a little kind of, I don't know what they call them, like a little gap here. But you have to be very careful about where you place it and keeping everything still very much parallel. So it's just like a little nick basically. When you scroll, it kind of just gives everything a bit. Remember you see here, like the curve of the leaf is kind of is going in, so you kind of want to, oh sorry, that's my bad, bring the kind of the scratch it there, my bad, bringing it in, tightening it, and just keeping everything going the same way, you know what I mean? Because that's what you see, and it's very much what you notice when you do stuff like this. So that is a very simple kind of scroll work, inside and internal work of a very simple leaf design. Let's turn that off a sec, it's bloody noisy. I'll just take this out. The video's dragging on a little bit, but I'm sure I'll edit it down to make it a bit shorter because there's a lot of guff in there. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe like that. I'll put a bit of paint in there. This is just Rust-Oleum, basically. It's just a very kind of metal paint, basically. Just a black, not black. The lid's broken on this, pretty going dry. I'll just fill that in. Bit of towel, rub it off with your thumb or whatever, the excess. It's the best thing, because if you get too heavy on a towel or a cloth or something, you end up wiping all the bloody paint out. Trust me, I learned that one in a lesson. Learned that one a few times. Trying to keep all the bloody paint in the cracks. You might be able to see it a bit better now. The bloody thing would focus. Might be better on there. There you go. You can kind of see the idea, but that's very much a very simple, it's a very nice looking way of doing scrolls. I've done a lot of drawing of scrolls, and some styles are very much for people's likings, but I do like good English style scroll work. It does look very nice. Especially black and down like that. Very nice, simple. So that's it for this video, I think. Very early days about these video things. I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do exactly, but hopefully that's shown you a little bit about scroll work, if anything. It's a very beautiful skill. And if you're into perfection and precision and things to make that need to look nice for your eye, that look good on the eye, I'd very much recommend it. Even if you don't want to do it, you know, professionally or you know, as a job, and you don't want to put in all the effort for that, and you just want to sit in your garage or, you know, in your studio and just chuck out scroll work all day. It's a very appealing and pleasant thing to do. So you could work off that scroll. You could go anywhere with it. You could keep growing off it, and you know, you could add leaves on the outside and do whatever you wanted to it. But yeah, that's very much a simple thing. So thank you for taking the time to watch it. And if you want to see more, bloody hell, camera's wobbling like this. I'm going to do more videos about my setup, like I've mentioned. I've got quite a lot of interesting stuff people who are interested in the area that might like to see. Things I've kind of made up to work for how I had to kind of figure stuff out on my own, but you know, gravers and all this stuff. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next one, I guess. Catch you later.